Hello and welcome to another tutorial from GLM. In this tutorial we're going to show you a basic explanation of the game navigation. This is the in-game navigation, not the website navigation. So in the in-game navigation when we see a few things. The first thing we see is my credits, which is going to change in the future, but for now this is the place where you can actually access your own credits and assign those credits to a specific round which you're logged into. In this case, we are at round 166, as you can see over here, and there are 3 hours on the game on the top. There are 3.5 hours on the clock saying where the game is going to end and another one start. Now, when someone sends you messages, those messages are going to be located in your mailbox. Now, in this case, we don't have any messages, so that's what it's going to show. In the mailbox section, you can access to take a look at the attacks that people have attacked you. You can click on this one in order to see which attacks you have performed against others. On this page, you can see the transfers. People can transfer you money. This is where you can accept or deny those transfers. So this is kind of like mailbox for the transfers. This is showing you have transfers, and then when you click on it, it's going to go to your bank where you can accept or deny those transfers. Same goes for sent transfers, when you're sending transfers. Now, in the previous video, we have spoken about how to invite a member to the family. That member, when we send them the invitation, he have received it in the invites. The invites page is going to show you the invites people invited you. And finally, the last thing that you have is revenges. Revenges, when somebody attacks you, you have up to 24 hours to perform a revenge attack on them. That means that it doesn't matter what's the range, it doesn't matter if he's far away from you, if he has too much money, if he's too powerful, if he's too little powerful. When someone attacks you, immediately you have revenge rights on them. That means that you can attack them as much as you want. We're going to expand on the whole attacks later on. For now, we're going to continue. The game, we have different actions that we want to perform. Most of the game actions are located under the Actions tab. Now you can see that we have offensive, we have business actions, and street cred. Now, make porn, travel, bank, we'll talk about them later. For now, I'm going to concentrate on where to start. The first thing you want to do when you come to the game is you want to go to your street cred and you want to hire people. So let's go ahead and click on the hire people. Now you'll see you have different type of people. You have the bodyguards, the thugs, the hitmen, and then the operatives. You have the punks, hustlers, bootleggers, whores, and dealers. Now what that means exactly. Defensive units, those are the soldiers you use in order to attack somebody else. Now when you attack someone, they're basically using those bodyguards, thugs, or hitmen to attack them. It's a combination of the three. Now, different kind of attacks utilizes different kind of defensive units. However, we are not concentrating right now on this. We're concentrating on the different kind of men that you want to hire. Now, the operatives, those are the people that make you money. Operatives are better at making money, but they're not so good for defense or attack. So you can have, for example, 100,000 whores, which you can actually pimp, and those whores are going to be making you money more than defending you. Those are the people you should care about when defending the account, the profile. Now, let's move along. And okay, before we move along, one last thing. Right here, you can use, let's say we want to use 100 turns, and I want to scout for, let's do hitmen and hustlers. Alright, I want to scout. Now in this case I used 100 turns and that gave me 500 hitmen and 700 hustlers. Now those numbers vary, they're not always the same, but you hire them and then you use them to do different actions like produce and do other stuff which is under the street cred. Moving on the street cred to produce. Now as you can see, The tugs allow you to produce wheat. The tugs also allow you to produce coke. And then you have bootleggers that you can help produce alcohol, and you have the ones that produce gas. This is the different kinds of production that you can run on the game. Later on, we have the collect. This is where it gets interesting. Under collect, we have the casino, where you have card dealers and you actually use them in order to collect. So let's say if I do like 100 turns and I use 100 turns to roll out on the casino, what happens? They made me right now $14,000 in cash. Why is that? Because I only have 10 car dealers. On the other hand, let's use the same number of turns. We're going to do 100, and we use the same number of turns on a horse, but we have 10,000 of them. So when we pin them, you'll see they made me an impressive $22 million in cash. That gives you the different kind of what we have. Now remember before we had 700 hustlers when we hired? Now they are here. So when we use the 100 turns to use those hustlers to collect loan payments, and when we click collect, you're going to see they made us $1.13 million in cash. Now, every one of the different defensive units, the different operatives, they have different kind of power and different kind of production power. So those are things that you, as a player, will go into the game and investigate and find the best way to actually make money. And that's what it's all about. Thinking, making the best money that you can, making the best kills that you can, and that's how you actually win the first place in Gangland Mafia. Now, we went over the street creds on the hire, produce, and collect. Now on the business. On the business we have the stock market. In the stock market we can buy stocks. It's very simple. I can buy, let's say, 10 stocks of technology or banking if I have money. Okay, I just bought 10 banking and they cost me this amount of money. Now the stocks go up, they go down. So you want to deal with the stock market fast. You want to do it within 10-15 minutes to sell the stock, to buy the stock, to make sure that you gamble on the specific stocks and learn them, how they behave, and that will actually show you how to make money. On the black market is a place where you deal. You can buy, basically you can buy or sell different kind of products, and you will need weapons when you want to attack, so you will need. The recommended volume is 2 handguns and 1 AK-47 per defensive unit that you have. So you want to have your guys armed, otherwise they can't do any damage. I mean, you can have 1,000,000 guys with no weapons, and then you have another one that has 100,000 guys, but he's fully loaded with weapons, and he's going to win in attacks. So you want to make sure you guys are armed, and you also want to make sure that you have cars, because if you don't have cars, you can't do a drive-by. You can't do a lot of kinds of attacks. If you don't have planes, you see I have 0 planes, I cannot travel. You need planes to travel, you need cars to make attacks, and that's pretty much the basic of that place. Now, right here you can buy. Now notice that you have drugs like coke, weed, and alcohol. Those stuff you can produce, you don't have to buy them. You can use your people to create, to actually generate those drugs, and that could give you a much better edge. Instead of buying, you can just create that. Imports, exports, they're used with different kinds. You can, it's on risk basis. So you can use it, but it is a risk. You may be double crossed, as you can see over here in red. You import and export weapons. People use it to make a lot of money. Don't ask me how. This is not my area. But moving along. Again, everything over here is turn-based. So when I use 10 turns in order to make, then you can see that 7 of my boys, they got pissed off because they don't like this, and they left. The movie, I made 47,000 films and they only brought me $500,000 in cash. Now, if we go back to our account page, we see, no, forget the account page. Let's go to the message board, for example. Or not, maybe go to the page. On the bottom of most pages, you'll see this. And This is your statistics. This is everything that you have. You have turns, you have cash, bank, hitmen, thugs, bodyguards, alcohol, and so on and on. Now you see that defensive happiness is at 0%. Now my defensive units are not happy because they don't have what they want. So we're going to go into the action, street cred, and we're going to produce some of the drugs that the defensive unit likes so much. So we're going to use 100 turns to produce that, and we're going to use that, but that was weed, and we're going to produce 100 to produce coke. Now, cocaine is usually used by prostitutes. The weed is usually used by thugs. So if you got 9,000 thugs, you want to make sure that they have weed to smoke. And when we go back to the globals page, then we can see defensive happiness is still not in the right place. That's interesting. Okay, let's do something more. Let's produce and see what's the possibility. Alright, alcohol. Maybe they don't have alcohol. So let's go make 1,000 points. I'm going to produce alcohol. Now, we're going to go back to that page again. And, nope, still no. Alright, let's go 1,000 points and produce. And let's go to the coke and produce. Now let's go to that page again and see if the happiness has changed or not. No, it still did not change. Well, that's something you're gonna have to play with. I don't usually play the game, so that's something you'll have to figure out. And if you don't, we have a lot of nice members on the game that will help you and teach you exactly what's the best way to use the game. Under account, you can find the home, which is where the news and messages are being posted here, basically. Every time there is a new feature or something, I have a new message to show people, I write it down here, and they go in and pretty much see the message, and also you can see your current net worth, you can see the turns that you have, how much cash you have in hand, this is important, and other information about yourself. On a family, you can have my family, and then family chat, it's something that I made just for people to talk to each other. So let's say, you want to talk to other people in your family and you want it to be discreet, this is a place where you use it to talk to the family. On the terms and credits, we have the term bank, which is rarely in use. I don't know if anybody's using it. And we can use reserves. This is basically where you have reserves right now, and you can use them. So in this case, you have 50,000 reserves, and I can take 10,000 out of them, and I can transfer, so they will be available to use. Now, as you can see, in my home, all of a sudden I have on hand 109,390 turns on hand. 10,000 of those right here moved over to my on hand turns. Now, you can also vote for turns. In the vote turns, you'll have different kind of websites that you vote for us. When you vote for us, our website become more popular. We have more players, so that's a really, really good thing. We give a generous 750 turns for every vote, and you have to make sure that you have less than 10,000 on hand. So when you actually vote, you want to make sure that you have less than 10,000, otherwise you wouldn't get those turns. You can vote once every 24 hours. Moving along, referral system, let's skip this one. My businesses. Alright. Under businesses, you need to purchase the businesses to make money. Now those businesses make you money. And every time that you own a business, that business generates money for you. But people can attack this business and can destroy it. So it's not something that you have for sure guaranteed. However, as long as the business is up and running, you will make money from it. My profile, that's basically where you change your profile. Now you have over here a link to my profile. This is how your profile looks like for the outside. And then you can also go back to that page and click on options, which gives you the different kind of options of what to do on the profile. Okay? Under contacts. Under contacts, you have different kinds. You can do enemies and allies. Okay, this page seems to not be working, so moving along. This is showing you plus minus who has the most. It's like a little statistics page that shows you who is the most violent, the most rape. Basically, the most rape mafioso means the person who were attacked more than anybody else. And the most violent mafioso is the person who attacks the most, more than anybody else. And then you have a person who has the most defensive unit, a person who has the most operatives. It's a nice place to actually go and take a look at the top 5, top 6 people who are basically, how do you compare to them? It's kind of like a part of choosing your target. Now, logout will actually take you out of the round and take you to the play games page. Under search, it's pretty self-forward, self-explanatory. You can search for a gangster, which in this case is mafioso. You can search for family and look who's online. Currently, for seeing who's online, we're looking at the ranks global page. It gives us more accurate, and I did some improvement there in order to show where the people are online. Maybe they're not playing, but they're still online, so you can communicate with them. And that is kind of nice. I have made the ability to actually click that little chat icon and send somebody, hey there. In that case, they will basically get a text message, an instant message, telling them that hello, and they can actually talk to me. This is the page where you see subscribers, people who are actually buying turns and stuff. Subscribers are currently disabled, so we're not going to talk about that. Prizes are showing you what's the prizes for when a person wins the first place. Now, as you can see, there is supporter prizes, and there is the defensive unit killer supporter, and then we have the regular prizes, which is the free right here, the 50,000, and the DO killer for free, also 50,000, and the family. If your family got number 1, you get an additional 30,000 credits into your account that you can use in future rounds. Now, note that on top of the supporter prizes that they get into their account, when you click on show supporter prizes, this is changing from time to time, and basically it depends on how many reserves you bought original value, and then you get, if you get a top net and killer together, then you double what you buy, plus you get a combo bonus depending on the competition. So if you have a round where there are 10 different people who are on supporter ranks, then whatever everybody bought together, I usually take a percentage from that and give it as a combo bonus for somebody who win top net worth and top killer, because it's really, really difficult to do. However, if you get just the top net, for the top net you're getting the number that you buy. For example, if you spend, let's say, $50 and you bought 5 million reserves, then you would get a reward of the top net for 5 million. Now, if you bought a top net and the killer, then you're actually going to get a reward of 10 million, plus you'll get a combo bonus, which will be like the cherry on top, I guess. Nobody has to buy anything, so when you come to the game, you can play totally free. We're happy to have you no matter what. And just note, in order to explain, because people sometimes don't understand and don't know how exactly the system works. Let's move along to the winnings page. The winnings page shows you the current stats of people. Now, who is number 1 supporter at the moment has a net worth of 93 billion. Now, notice that under family ranking, there is a lot of families over here that have tons of money in the bank. Now, this is one of the benefits of having a family in GLM Mafia. It allows you to protect your money by putting it in the family bank for safekeeping. Now, the regular bank in the game, which is right here, if I have money in this bank, people can actually attack my bank account and steal that money. So it's not 100% free. Banks are getting robbed. Keep this in mind, that banks are getting robbed. But attacking somebody's family bank, it's much more difficult because you have to destroy the whole family. Currently, at the moment, it's not possible to attack somebody's family bank, but you could destroy everybody's family by basically hiring the SWAT team. If you're a supporter, you have access to the SWAT team feature. And also you can hire an informant. There's a few other features. We'll talk about them later. But in this page, you basically get, you see King is number 1 under free, but then keep in mind King has a family, and under his family, he also has some money. I'm not sure which one it is, but he has a lot of money in there. So in the end of the round, usually people pull out the money from the family bank. Unfortunately, some people are missing the chance in the end of the round to pull the bank out, and they losing because they didn't get the money from the family bank. So this is something that you have to be on top of. It's not something that will be done automatically. Whatever money you deposit into the family bank, you will have to pull it out. On the past, it's something that shows you the past. I would say ignore it because it's probably buggy. Now, message board gives you the ability to post a message on the message board. Like I saw over here, I told the people to check out the community video and basically to take a look at it. Now, recruit board is where you post message where you want to recruit. You have a family and you want to recruit people to your family. You go over there in the recruit board and you recruit it. On the live chat, I added a little nice feature that allows you to actually pull the chat out of the window and have it on a separate window on the side. So when I just go over here and I say, hey, it will give me, basically, as you can see, it's also affect the main page. So that gives me the ability to be available on the live chat and go over here to another page and say, okay, I want to go to this page, or I want to go to the game guide, or whatever it is that I want to go to. Credit deals is the place where you actually buy. Alright, they didn't answer, so let's move on. Credit is where you buy credits on the game. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Now, credit page is, yeah, credit deals. Okay. Right here we have different kind of credit deals that you can use in order to buy. It's very simple, self-explanatory. If you ever use PayPal to purchase anything, it's pretty basic at the moment. In the next version, we are going to be making the credits to be with the virtual currency, but at the moment we have just straightforward. When you buy credit deals, you become a supporter for that round. And a feature that we added lastly is the arcade games, which gives you the option to play all kinds of different arcade games and to pass the time while you're waiting for turns. Now, if you notice, when we go to the home, you'll see that you get 5,000 turns every 2 minutes, every 10 minutes basically. So 5,000 turns, this number could change. I could decide one time that I want to give 2,000 turns only, or I want to give 10,000 turns. Now that's the maximum hold that you have at the moment is 100,000, but sometimes I can make it, I don't know, 150,000 or 50,000, it doesn't matter. Now if you're online, you're getting another 500 turns over here, which is also something that could change. Well, thank you very much for watching GanglandMafia.com tutorial for beginners. I hope you have a wonderful day and come visit us at GanglandMafia.com. Bye bye.